Hello everyone, it's Eileen back with you again with another Lavinia stamps video tutorial. Today I'm featuring the Floral Wreath along with sets 1 and 2 of the foxes. There are 4 foxes with names that are quite large images, and then there's 2 sets of the smaller foxes, and they're just called set 1 and set 2, and that's the ones that I'm using today. Gorgeous, gorgeous little creatures they are. So this is, I've made 3. I had so much fun this morning. I've made 3, but I'm just showing you how to make 1 because obviously the apart from being a different shape card, the technique is all the same. So this is the one that I'm planning to show you today. And away we go. I've got a piece of multifarious cardstock and I have folded it and creased it, and I've cut it to a 14 by 14 centimetre square, and I'm going to lay it on its side for this first stamped image because I want the image to be quite accurate where I'm going to place it, and I can see better if I stamp the first one on its side. And I'm using the Floral Wreath and Archival ink in Shadow Grey. And I've got my stamp pad as well. You can use a stamp press if you like. I'm inking up. I'm not being too careful because if the image doesn't come out properly, it really doesn't matter. I just want a shadow underneath the main image, which I'll be a little bit more careful with. So I'm coming in about 1/2 inch from the side and towards the middle, about 1/2 inch from this side, and down a bit from the top and up a bit from the bottom. So you're more or less in the middle. That's that. Now I'm turning it round now to do the other side. Again, inking up in the Shadow Grey Archival. And then I'm not bothering to join these up, the wreath. I'm just coming in again about 1/2 inch from the side, twisting it around a little down. This is just a background fill-in, so if it doesn't come out perfectly, it really doesn't matter. Like so. It just gives me a guide for the main image, which is going on now, which is the Floral Wreath again, of course. But this time I'm inking up in Versifying Clair Nocturne. And it's quite a juicy pad, so it should give me a really good image. Gentle tapping. Just check you can see okay. Yep. Again, I'm going on its side. Now I'm just going to make this join up here, like so. Yep. And then I'm going to go from around the other side. Oops, he dropped it then. I've got a few bits of ink where they shouldn't be, so I'll just remove those from the stamp. And then popping this round here, like so. It's sort of over top of the other image that's underneath, but you'll still be able to see parts of the shadow. And pressing down firmly and up. That will do. Not quite as circular maybe as the original card, but it really doesn't matter. Right, next is Wild Honey, some colour in the middle. Wild Honey and Ice Spruce I'm using. but you can use any colour you like. I'm starting with the ice spruce. It's not a very wet pad. Making sure I've no ink on my fingers. I'm just going to put a small amount down using a makeup brush. Not too much pressure on the brush, not grinding into the card. I'm sort of skimming across the surface. Just a little layer of ice spruce, followed by a small amount of wild honey. Now this pad is wetter, so I'm being extra careful, very gently. Wrist and my hand is very light. I'm not putting any pressure on the head of the brush at all. Just skimming across the surface, giving myself a bit of a blend here. Not filling in the whole of the middle. I still want some white space. And that should do it. I've got a bit of colour there. I'm taking my first fox. Now this foxes, these are the smaller ones, sets 1 and set 2, and there's 2 foxes in each set of the smaller image. Still very beautiful though. Plenty of ink on this. I want this to come out really crisp. Like so. And just popping him down in the middle there. That will do fine. Down. Let the ink soak in. Pressing firmly down and up. And there he is. And then I'm taking, before I forget, I'm taking a grey pen and I'm just going to ground him, because I keep forgetting to do this sometimes with the images until later when I notice it. So now I'm trying to get into the habit, if I'm just using crayon to ground and not torn up paper and some ink, then I do that more or less straight away. So that's just a little bit there for him, a little bit darker. Isn't he lovely? Now I'm going to pop in some twiddly bits. Along with your floral wreath image, there are 2 other tiny stamps. These are absolutely beautiful to use, because they will fill in any gaps that you've got. They will add interest to the image that you've already used, coupled with the fact that if you get any fingerprints, you can usually whop one of these over the top and it hides it. So I'm just going to add a bit of interest down from the top with this one. It's like a strip of leaves or flower petals. It's really gorgeous. I don't know which is up and which is down. You can use it either way, I think. So I'm just going to pop that down here. The block is quite large and you need to be careful with this stamp. It's delicate. I don't really want to rock the block, otherwise the image will smudge. Gorgeous. Now I'm going to pop another little bit on, but I want different lengths, so I'm going to remove some of the ink from the upper part of the image. And that gives me beside it, and then and again another bit, and I've got ink on the card. I'll have to get rid of that. Bit more there. So again the other side even shorter now, so different lengths coming down. Now if you get that, which I shouldn't have done but I have, if you get ink coming from the stamp in an area you don't want it, I'm using my Tombow Mono sand eraser, and it's number 512A. those of you that follow me know that I use this a lot, and this is ideal for getting rid of this. Now, I've used this eraser on Paper Mill Direct Super Smooth cardstock, and I've used it on, as you can see now, on Multifarious. It does remove some of the texture from your card, but you can't see the damage with the naked eye, really. You can't see it, so you just get away with it. Obviously, if you keep removing layers, then you will see it. But that's removed enough. And then I've also got a bit of ink down here from my fingers. Nothing new there then, and it will also get rid of that. It's not a miracle worker. It will get rid of stray bits of ink, providing it isn't too deep in colour. If it's quite a big blob of ink, then I'm afraid that it isn't going to work, but it's enough for what I've done there. Okay. Next, what's next? Oh yes, now we got on to this tiny little sprig of flowers. So delicate and so pretty and so useful. And again, I'm going for the black. Gentle tapping. I'm just going to remove the ink from the stalk of the branch or spray, because I want to pop that in, but not, or make sure I've got no ink on my knuckles. Pop that in like so. Yeah, that's good. Isn't that lovely? It just adds to it. So clever of Tracy to pop these little images in. I mean, I can see they're going to be so useful. I'm going to keep them on my desk, I think, just these two all the time. Going down a bit. Again, taking the ink from the stalk each time. And then I'm not going to surround him with the flowers, but I want to showcase this because it's such a lovely little stamp and it looks so pretty. Right, one more I think, and then I'm going to call it a day, because otherwise I'm just going to overdo it. Yes, it's lovely. It's really pretty. Right, okay, enough. That's that. Now what's next? I've just got to look at my card. Colouring. I think colouring in now. So I've used these gold pens and a red one because I was trying to think of Christmas colours. And I'm just going to fill in, minding my fingers, if that ink isn't dry. I'm just going to fill in the main images, not the shadows underneath. So a bit of gold going over the top of some of the other stamping that I've done. That's fine, it won't hurt. And then red. Not being too careful, as you can see. I think I'm running out of ink on this one. Might have to go for the orange because there's more ink in that. So let's try that. Right, a bit of orange, yes. So orange instead of red, only because I've run out of red. And then a bit more here. Not being too careful because I'm going to glossy accents over the top, and as you know that will level out any shadows and shading, so don't have to be too careful. Right. I think that might be dry enough now, so that's there and a little bit there and a little bit of green there and a bit more of gold there. So I'm not doing the shadow underneath, I'm just doing the top image, the main image. It's gold. Gold's got to be my favourite, I have to say. But I did like the blue and silver one that I did. And this one is, and I did a blue and orange as well, I think. There's another gold one. This is a new pen. I buy these in boxes of 12 at a time. I use these for my workshops, they're my real life workshops. Real life, well this is. Oh dear, real life, yes, we'll get our lives back soon, won't we? Of course we will. Okay, so a bit of green there. And then another bit of orange there. And another bit of orange there. And I think I might have another bit there. Right. So I think, now that's very quick, and you can take your time and be a bit neater than I was. But I'm mindful of the fact that hubby is out with the dogs and he'll be back soon and they'll be woofing away. And I'm just going to now just check to see if I've done everything that I should. I think I have. Just going to apply now the glossy accents. I've got to be quick with this too. Yep. Like so. Try and stay within the lines, but it is self-leveling, this stuff, so it will sort of spread out a little bit. I'm also doing the opaque black ones as well. Your choice if you do these, but I've found that it does finish it off if you pop some glossy accents on those also. There's quite a few black leaves in this with no shading or very little, but not touching the shadow stamping that I did underneath. That's staying as it was, or as it is. Gentle pressure there and there. There we go. A bit more there. Going to do some abstract work this afternoon. I'm looking forward to a whole day of crafting. There we go. Right, not quite a good circle, but I don't mind that. I'm still pleased with how it looks. Now the final thing is I did 3 small dots with some enamel accents on one of the other cards, but my enamel accents in black has gone over it in the sense that it's too thick now. It's too old and it's thick. I've got to get a new one. So I'm going to use this white one, which I know is new-ish. So when I get that flowing, and that doesn't want to go either. I wonder why that is. I've really got to unblock this one. Ah, there we go, right. Okay, so just going to put, you need something to look at, you see. So I'm going to do 3 tiny domed spots. Well, they're bigger than I would have wanted, but that will do. That's what he's looking at, these white orbs or blobs of ink in the sky. That was fun though. I like this technique, it was really fun. Well, you can tell I did, because I made 3 cards this morning and I had a really good time. So, okay, let's display them. There's the card that I've just created. This one is a better shape, I think, with the stamping of the original wreath. I think the stamping's better, but I like the colours of this because I've used the orange as well as the green and a bit of red and the gold. And why not? Here's the other 2 as well, keeping them well away from the glossy accents on that aren't dry, that isn't dry. Okay, well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you for looking. I'll be back next weekend. Guess what? It will be Lavinia stamps next weekend as well. Thanks ever so much, and for all your lovely kind comments. So appreciated. Bye for now.